What were the four separate Jedi councils? We first see the Jedi High Council make their appearance in The Phantom Menace. Back when these movies first came out, audiences were still getting used to seeing Jedi being so prevalent within the galaxy. The Grand Jedi Temple being shown to us all in its glory was truly a sight to behold, with brown and tan-robed Jedi walking its halls in its glory and being dispatched all around the Star Wars galaxy, doing what they do best as guardians of peace across the universe. And in the highest tower of the Jedi Temple, spiraling towards the reaches of the Coruscant sky and overlooking the galaxy beyond, sits the room where only the most esteemed members of the Jedi Order sit in a circle with one another. This, as we all know, is the Jedi High Council. With Grandmaster Yoda sitting at the helm, the galaxy would seemingly be in safe hands for the time being. However, the High Council was not the only council that the Jedi Order contained. Although it was the biggest and most prominent, it was hardly the only council. The Jedi Order itself was a constantly moving machine, like an enormous clock. It only works when all of the little cogs mesh together perfectly. The existence and importance of the other councils was especially important during the rise of the Clone Wars, as the High Council was preoccupied with winning the war, as well as the speculated return of the Sith. The rest of the Jedi Order still had to be maintained. This is where we start to discover the three entirely different, smaller councils around the Order. So stick with us today, curious students of the Force, as we talk about each council's placement and duties within the wider Jedi Order. A good starting point would be to go ahead and discuss what exactly it was that the High Council actually did, and their pure responsibility. The High Council was the primary governing body of the Order, and was comprised of 12 Jedi Masters, all of whom discussed and contemplated all aspects of the Order and its functionality. This would include how the Jedi Knights were to be dispatched when a call for help was issued, handling the Jedi trials and when a student ascended to the rank of Knight, as well as being a liaison between the Jedi Order and the rest of the galaxy. Many times, it was the council members who went out to represent the wider Order on formal galactic affairs. The High Council was the only council that dealt directly with the office of the Supreme Chancellor. The council was composed of 5 permanent members who accepted a lifetime commitment to it. In addition, 4 long-term members served until they chose to step away. And then of course you had the limited term members that sat on the council for specified terms and specified reasons, be that specialities in certain fields or knowledge that they possessed. With the High Council out of the way, let's talk about the 3 other lesser-known councils. There were 3 others: the Council of Reassignment, the Council of First Knowledge, and the Council of Reconciliation. These councils had significantly less members than the Jedi High Council did, with most of them comprising of somewhere around 5 or so members. It was indeed possible and not at all uncommon for one master to serve in more than one council at a time. The purpose of these smaller councils was to see the more specific parts of the Jedi Order, and oversee the parts that would be too tedious for the High Council to oversee directly. The Council of Reassignment, for example, to start with, was a council that presided over and were responsible for the Jedi Service Corps. For more information on the Service Corps, definitely check out our video on what happens to Padawans who failed their Jedi trials. Speaking on which, failed Padawans were a large portion of the Reassignment Council and the group that they regularly dealt with, hence their name. Padawans who did not succeed in their Jedi trials would be given a few more tries, but they could only try so many times before no master would wish to train them any further, and they would then be sent to the Council of Reassignment. It's important to note though that not all Jedi in the Service Corps went to see the Council of Reassignment were necessarily exclusively failed Padawan, as a great many Jedi Knights weren't particularly interested in pursuing guardianship, and much rather wanted to apply their skills to help the galaxy in other ways. This could include going to the Agricultural Corps or using their talents in the Force to help life thrive and help plants grow on worlds who needed their help. Therefore, they would be sent to the Council of Reassignment in order to be reassigned to these respective fields. This is something that Grandmaster Yoda acknowledged as being a truly commendable application of the Force, therefore making the Council of Reassignment integral to the inner workings of the Jedi. Moving on, we have the Council of First Knowledge. This was a council that presided over the library and the Great Jedi Archives. The Chief Jedi Librarian was often a part of this council, as they were directly head over the physical library itself and its information contained within. They were also responsible for seeking out and protecting knowledge of the Order as well as the history of the galaxy itself. They believed that the council could not evolve without the ever-growing knowledge base. With this idea in mind, the First Knowledge Council had a string of agents who they would dispatch out into the galaxy to recover many ancient tombs as well as artifacts, Jedi and Sith alike. Again, including dark side in nature. Their agents were specifically sent out to find, recover, and destroy all remnants of the Sith. Following the new Sith Wars, the Council dedicated itself and its shadow agents to the recovery of all Sith artifacts, deeming them too dangerous, and deeming the possession of such material illegal. Agents of the Council were then sent out to virtually eradicate all traces of the Sith, making their role in the galaxy extremely important. The Council of First Knowledge was responsible for the near elimination of Darth Endedu from all text found within the Republic and Jedi archives, believing his power of essence transfer to be too dangerous. Agents serving the Council worked primarily in the Tower of First Knowledge, consulting holocrons and making use of specialized chambers to seek out dark side activities. The final council we have to cover would be the Council of Reconciliation. The Council of Reconciliation was a council that dealt with the more political side of the Jedi Order. Although larger decisions were usually left to the High Council, the Council of Reconciliation did have a certain relationship with the Galactic Senate, and were responsible for dispatching Jedi to planets in order to resolve a peaceful resolution between that system and that of the Jedi, or that systems and another system in question. Working closely with the Republic Diplomatic Corps, the Council sought peaceful solutions to political debates, as well as served as a mediator among different parties or different local governments. At the Council's disposal were the consulars, who were trained as diplomats and ambassadors, as well as a slew of seers that assisted in making key decisions on behalf of the Reconciliation Council. Sometimes requested to deal with internal affairs, the Council would pass judgment over Jedi accused of falling to the dark side of the Force or committing a crime. It was acceptable for other Jedi to appear at the hearing to offer testimonies for accused Jedi. The Council's decision was final and respected by the three other councils though, making them essentially the judges of the Jedi Order. So students of the Force, what did you think of these three lesser known Jedi councils? And how do you think they serve their importance within the Jedi Order? If given the opportunity, which council do you think you would be most interested in joining? Let us know in the comments, and as always, may the Force be with you, and we hope that you have a great day.